Well, here we are again. The cameras are on, the Zoom is on, and this is Radio Entrepreneurs. My name is Jeffrey Davis. I'm host of Radio Entrepreneurs, also chairman of the board and CEO of Mage LLC, management consulting firm in the Boston area. And we're going to have a guest back we haven't seen for a long time, since I think before COVID, but I could be wrong. Scott Krentzman, President, CMIT Solutions. Welcome back, Scott.
Thanks for having me, Jeff. Good to be here.
Right. Well, thanks. It's always nice to see you again. We love reoccurring guests. But it's really nice to sort of hear how things have progressed for you through COVID, your offering, how the business is doing, how you've adapted.
Yeah, no, thanks for the opportunity. In fact, the business itself has grown by a scale factor of 4 over the course of the time since we were last together. And part of that is due to what's going on in the real world here with cybersecurity related events. It was high back when I was last on, and amazingly, it seems to just keep getting higher. This is not going away, and this is something that every business needs to be aware of, no matter how big you are. There's sort of a misconception out there that small to medium-sized businesses are immune from cybersecurity related events, and that's just not true. Though you hear in the news, like what happened yesterday, state-sponsored attacks on airport websites occurred. Now, that's a very big and publicized thing, but what's not publicized is every day the attacks are mounting on just trying to break into your data, your information, and to disrupt your way of business. And even though you may not feel that there's a lot of value there for the crook, it's not about what the value is to the crook. It's about your business is valuable to you. So you've got to do things to properly protect it. And so what we've seen, there's a corresponding issue that's connected with this, is that the insurance companies are getting smarter and smarter after all of these cybersecurity related events, that they're now asking their clients, in order to re-up for your cyber insurance, you've now got to answer a series of questions. And while some of them are not technical related, there are a bunch that are, and you've got to make sure you've got all your ducks in a row. So on the technical side, it's things like having password managers, having multi-factor authentication, having endpoint detection and response types of solutions in place to help protect yourself, having firewalls. It's like a de facto need these days to have that level. And then you need somebody to support that, whether you do it yourself or you have an outside firm. You need help with all of this, because listen, it's not your business to manage your cybersecurity. It's your business to grow your own business. And so that's what we're here to help with.
And I would assume that when people say to you, oh, I have my own IT department and I can handle this on my own, you cringe.
Not exactly, actually. And it really depends on the size of the company. What we do find, though, is companies aren't able to truly employ the number of people to meet the real need and to keep current with what you need to keep current with. You'll find that there is a balance. Now, for the small to medium-sized firms, yeah, an outsourced IT function may make sense up to 30 to 50 people. Beyond that, it's typical that we'll work with companies of 50 and above that will have somebody on staff. Maybe they'll do the local help desk stuff, but there's no way for that individual to keep up to snuff on what's happening across the technology spectrum in terms of best of breed products and how to make sure you're staying protected all the time and responding to all the needs. So we're there as a backup, a second level support, as well as providing the higher level technology support in terms of product acquisition, deployment, and helping people move to the cloud, for example.
Well, you're both local and national because you have 200 offices. Why don't you talk to us a little bit about that as well? Because I think that's very important also for small companies and then for companies that are dealing throughout the country.
Right. Appreciate the opportunity. So I'm part of a franchise system. So you really do get the best of both worlds. You get a local point of contact with me here in the Boston metro area, and you get my team. So we're here. We're able to go on site as necessary and be there at the end. And because of the buying power, we're able to get you products and solutions that are really enterprise class, but deliver it down at a price point that's usable for the small to medium-sized business owner. And then at the same time, because we're so large, if you happen to have additional offices, say in Connecticut, say in Chicago, say in Florida, Los Angeles, well, there's another CMIT there, and we're all using the same technology. So we can deploy our own people locally as necessary, but still get the same unified support that you want out of one system, one approach. So you don't have to have Johnny's brother in LA and somebody's cousin in Chicago being the local support person. You get a unified system, all with the same technology and understanding.
Scott, and the biggest complaint I've heard through the last couple of years has been finding and keeping employees. Has that been an issue for you too as a business owner?
Well, the employment area certainly is challenging these days, but we've been able to manage and grow in this time and find the qualified people to help us out. We're providing a top level service, and people appreciate what that is, and we're able to pay our people accordingly. So it's actually an attraction to come to work for CMIT.
Oh, good. And I would assume it's a very competitive field. How do you sort of deal with the competition and the noise within the industry?
Yeah, well, particularly in the Boston metro area, there are lots of IT companies, so you do have lots of choice. And we differentiate ourselves, as you mentioned, both on, we're a franchise system, so you get this best of both worlds approach and the personalized service with best of breed technology and solutions at price points that people can afford. And it's really about matching your risk tolerance with the technology and what your actual needs are in the business. So we meet people where they are and solve their problems directly, as opposed to coming out with, hey, we've got our pre-canned approach and you'll take it or leave it. No, we work with you, and we have the capacity to work with people and tailor an approach that meets their needs.
Interesting. Are you the sole owner of this franchise?
So I'm the principal. Yes, I'm the sole owner of the franchise for this area. And there's two other folks in the greater metro Boston area. And there's over 41 people in the Northeast region, just like
wow.
that. So, we saturate the area. We've got a lot of coverage. We've got over 700 techs nationwide. We have a security operations center, a network operations center. We can meet your needs, whatever they are, wherever they are.
Well, I like to say to people that I like to go into the Wayback Machine. You're probably old enough to know what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
Can you give me some of your experience that led up to CMIT?
Yeah, so getting here was not a direct path. It's very interesting. While I do have a technology background, I went to engineering school, both locally and in a way went to Northeastern and Caltech, got a bachelor's and master's, practiced engineering for a while, then got a master's in business from the Sloan School at MIT. That's where I transitioned onto the business side of life, but never imagined entering into a franchise world or a franchise technology world. But I'd been doing work in the technology and the non-technology space with my MBA. And when an opportunity came to leave the larger corporate world, there's a lot of franchise people out there looking to brokers that are looking to connect people with franchise opportunities. I happened to connect up with one, and lo and behold, this was really the best of both worlds. because it uses my background in technology. I had a TRS-80 Model 1 computer in 1980. Okay, so I've been there from the beginning of the technology side. I taught myself BASIC, so I've been there from the beginning. If you're talking about the Wayback Machine, and I've just been able to translate that with my business experience because I can talk technology, but I can also talk business, and it's really we're trying to solve what the business owner is trying to solve. We're not trying to just sell you solutions. We're trying to help the business owner protect their business and enable it to grow for the future. That's the idea.
Well, we can go. I'm sure you and I could go further back than that. I used to use an IBM Selectric, and in high school, I used to use an Underwood typewriter.
Oh,
yeah. Miss my Underwood typewriter. It's kind of fun, even though my fingers would get dirty on the tape. We've been speaking with Scott Krentzman, President, CMIT Solutions. Scott, make me a promise. You're not going to wait 3 years to come back again.
Absolutely not. No, we love the opportunity to talk with you, Jeff. And if anybody's looking for us, you can find us on the web at cmitsolutions.com/BNW, or you can call us directly at 617-221-4100.
Well, you beat me to the next question, which was how do we get hold of you? And I guess that shows how proactive you are. And next time we want you to come back and maybe go through a case with us, or our audience can start to listen to some of the problems people deal with.
Absolutely. We have lots of reference studies on what's been working and how people come to us. They're all interesting stories.
Well, you definitely have an expertise in an area I don't have. I'm good at not opening up emails that look funky to me. So that's my training.
Well, that's an important starting point.
I want to remind everybody, this was Scott Krentzman. This is Radio Entrepreneurs, and I'm Jeffrey Davis. We'll be back with more stories.